Hello and welcome to Movie Bozos. I'm TJ here with Bjork.
Hello!
And we are continuing our marathon of Rin Tin Tin movies with 1930's The Lone Defender.
Yeah, it's been a minute since we last recorded. I'm excited.
It has been quite a minute. Now, this is a serial, so not quite a feature, but we didn't want to, we wanted to do everything Rin Tin Tin that we could.
Yeah.
At least for the OG Rin Tin. So basically, he got fired by Warner Brothers because they didn't think a dog would work in talking pictures.
That's so stupid. He barks.
Right, so now he gets picked up by Mascot, who are making cereals, and this is his premiere cereal, and it was also Mascot's first all-sound cereal. Now, Wikipedia says it's the second to have any sound at all, and I don't know if that's referring to Mascot or cereals in general.
Oh, that's interesting. Maybe cereals in general, because this is really early talkie days. Like, I think first talkie was 1928, so this is only 2 years after.
Right, so yeah, we're a few years into having the sound, so it makes sense that it would trickle down to the cheap features.
Yeah.
This is directed by Richard Thorpe, and the name sounded familiar. I don't remember if he did other Renties. I didn't see any.
I didn't see any.
His list.
He has a really cool looking filmography though.
He's done a lot.
Yeah, he did some Elvis films.
Yeah, so yeah, I guess he cut his teeth on these serials and then went into Jailhouse Rock. He did.
Yeah, it looks
nice.
Awesome.
He directed Ivanhoe. All right.
Yeah.
Going back further on him. But it also stars June Marlowe, who's worked with Rinty for several years at this point.
Oh, is it the same lady? I can never remember her face. I always think it's some random lady.
Yeah, we saw her. She's in Below the Line, Clash of the Wolves. I think she was in... I'm looking at her list now, but she's... Yeah, so we've seen her a few times. And then The Night Cry. And she was also in some that no longer exist or are lost films. So she's kind of like a long time Rinty collaborator.
Yeah, she's his new sidekick. I see that he ditched Nanette. She didn't make the transition over to talkies.
Right, yeah. I was kind of surprised, because Nanette ended up in all of those movies.
Yeah.
And I wonder, when did Nanette die?
Oh, God.
When did Nanette Tin Tin die? Is that her last name? Or
Nanette Tin Tin. That is atrocious. I hope it is.
It doesn't tell me. Wait. Nanette was diagnosed... Wait, where is it? Let's see. This is a wonderful start to our...
It is.
No, it doesn't say.
Oh.
No. This is kind of near the end of Rinty's life, right? We only have one more serial of him to go that still exists. He died
how old was he at this point?
2 years later. He is... So the 1930, he's 12.
That is ridiculous how he can still do these jumps at 12.
Right. Yeah, he does a Death from Above still.
Yeah, it's crazy. I actually thought it was the new Rin Tin Tin that was this dog, because of how agile he was.
I mean, it's still dialed back, and I don't know if that's because of the age of the dog now, or... if it's just because it's a serial, so it's by nature just cheaper.
Yeah, and more drawn out.
I'm trying to look. What's the last one we actually saw, the whole one? Was that Hills of Kentucky?
Yeah, I think that's the best one we saw as well. That's the really great one.
That's the last Renty we saw?
I think it was.
Go back to the
I think
list.
we watched Hills of Kentucky, and we watched part of that film that got lost. Okay. We saw 20 minutes of it.
Okay, Tracked by the Police and Jaws of Steel. So it's been there's a 3-year gap where nothing exists.
Oh, damn.
And then not even as far as I could tell, not even clips.
So there were no films in that gap, or there were, but they went missing.
There were, but if they exist, I can't find them anywhere.
All right.
So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 7 actual, and then he cameoed in Show of Shows, which that's a YouTube thing. We looked at that.
Yeah, well, I like took a glance
Where
at it.
who does he like? He introduces some actress. Oh God, who does he introduce? He comes out in like Wolves and Barks and introduces
G Marlowe.
No, not Mae West. God, who?
I have no idea.
Was it It was either Clara Bow or well, now I'm just doing it from memory, so that's stupid. All right. Anyway, or Myrna Loy, but both of those might also be wrong.
Yeah, I have no clue.
This is great. Don't come to this show for facts. But it is on YouTube if you want to look it up, which I guess I won't look it up right now. But we should get into The Lone Defender. It's a 3.5-hour serial split into 12 chapters, so we're just discussing the first 6 chapters right now.
There's a lot to talk about in just these 6 chapters as well.
I guess we should go chapter by chapter. First, I was actually surprised. I didn't realize this was going to be in sound.
Yeah, I didn't. It was definitely surprised me when I started it up.
I love that there's this, basically each chapter has this man introducing the chapter. So the first chapter, he actually brings Rinty out. It calls him the most famous dog in the world and talks about all his like heroic acts that he did during the war.
Oh, yeah. I love how nervous he is. The guy stroking
Except
Rinty.
that he was found as a puppy, so this is kind of like a case of stolen valor, isn't it?
I guess it kind of is.
Like, yes, he was a medic dog over there, but he was a puppy, so he probably wasn't yet fully trained. How much action?
I am assuming he like maybe saw like one battle and was sent straight home, because I remember him being found with that litter of other puppies in a bunker. So yeah, he must have been really young.
Do you have anything more about this intro before we jump into Chapter 1, Mystery of the Desert?
I just think it's funny how the guy who's introducing it is stroking Rinty's from like an arm's length away, as if he's scared to stroke him. You can see him shaking.
Yeah, kind of like he's like demonstrating a car and he doesn't want to scuff the paint.
Yeah, Rinty's insured, that's why.
Yeah, he probably was, actually.
Yeah. It would be weird if the most famous dog in the world wasn't insured.
Exactly. I lost track of where it was. Oh, which version did you watch? Because there's 2 of these on YouTube. One of them...
I had a glance at a few, but I ended up just going for the first one that has the colorized thumbnail of Rinty and the kid.
Okay, so you went with the one with the wrong aspect ratio.
Oh. I did not realize it had the wrong aspect ratio.
Well, so it stretches it to widescreen when it was, originally an Academy ratio.
I should have probably picked up on that.
Well, no. So I watched the other one because I was like, it seems like you got to choose between impossible audio or stretched out video.
Oh, the audio on the one with the stretched video was appalling.
It's like the first video that comes up when you search it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, but that audio is nothing compared to the one where the video is not stretched out. So let's, for our listeners, I'll look these up and tell you who these uploaders are. So we watched one, Lone Defender, from the YouTuber Western TV shows. Now there's a whole bunch of them. I started one from Moman1423. Which has it in the correct aspect ratio, but they sound like the Peanuts parents, like, and I had kind of glanced at the other one for a second, and I guess in the beginning the audio is bad, so I just said I wrote it out for like 35 minutes until finally I was like, I can't understand them. I have no idea what's going on. So I had to go back to the other one. Like, the only way I had any idea what was going on was because I could understand the guy introducing each chapter. So I'd sit there for 15 minutes just watching dumbly, and then after 15 minutes, the chapter would end, and it would start the next chapter, and he would recap everything I just watched, and I would be like, oh, okay.
Oh, yeah, I ended up
now
skipping
it makes
the recaps.
Sense.
I liked the first 2, but I just
didn't. Really?
I couldn't be bothered after the first 2.
Okay, so I even after I could understand, though, I kept zoning out because it is frankly kind of boring to watch all in one sitting.
Yeah, I'm glad we didn't watch the full thing.
Oh, hell no. Dude, I fell asleep watching one and I had to like come back to it later because they're not. It's like watching old Doctor Who, right? Like they're not built to be watched in one go.
Not something
it's
you binge.
Built to watch.
It's like
it's built to watch an episode and then wait a week. It's not like it's not even like modern TV where you can keep rolling because they even in these 6 chapters, I don't understand how they go to 12 chapters because there is not enough story.
It's so drawn out. It's like a 3-chapter minimum deal, but no, we stretch it to 12.
Right. It's just nonstop padding, right?
Yeah, it's painful.
All right, so let's start in chapter 1. First of all, this is very early talky and cheap serials, so the acting is so stiff.
Yeah, this is both a good thing and a bad thing.
Like, I know that you were not a big fan of June Marlowe before.
Oh, no.
But I kind of championed her, maybe just out of familiarity.
Yeah.
Now, no. She is probably the worst of the whole bad bunch.
She's quite awful to listen to. It's like a cat being strangled.
Did you notice, too, that they I think only there's one character, Ramon, who's the cactus kid, who speaks with like a bad Mexican accent.
Yeah, it's like a white guy doing brown face, whatever you call it.
I don't know. I am Ramon.
Yeah, he's like...
You must trust me.
He's like Cheech and Chong's dad.
Yeah. But he's the only one who uses contractions. I don't know if you noticed that.
Like when a woman gives birth contractions, what do you mean?
No, like... He says, like, I don't know, but everyone else would say, I do not know.
Oh, right. So they all speak in proper English, and he's like that rugged Mexican guy.
Like, no one does, but they're all so stiff, so they're like, I do not know.
Yeah, it's like what aliens think human acting is.
Yes, exactly. So if you didn't notice that before, now it's going to drive you batty.
Yeah, I'm definitely going to notice that when we watch the other ones. God.
In chapter 1, of course, we're excited to finally hear Rinty bark.
Oh, God, I was let down.
Later on, he sounds real, but in this first chapter, he sounds like a person going, woo, 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 woo.
He just sounds like a little puppy playing with a toy, like, woo, 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 woo.
Yeah, I was like, damn, like, Frank Welker could do a better job. It must have been like Frank Welker's dad or something.
Yeah, like, as if this guy has killed, like, 3 or 4 people with a bark like this. No one's going to be scared of this dog.
So basically the story, if we want to call it that, is so June Marlowe plays Dolores Valdez, the whitest people to ever have a Spanish last name, and her blind father decides to go out in the desert with Rinty. I don't know why.
I think he has a gold mine in the desert.
Well, he has a mine, right? So he's going to the mine?
Yeah.
I thought he just kind of like just went out there to like just, I don't know, cross the desert just because he could with his dog.
Yeah, and he's taking that cowboy guy with him as well.
Right. What I forget, his Buzzy or something?
Yeah, I don't know what his relation was really.
So yeah, they had this like hired hand who like a kid, right?
Yeah.
Buzz.
Well, that's his name.
Right. Well, I mean, the credits list says Ramon's sidekick, except Buzz seems to be hanging around before Ramon comes. Anyway, so Dolores' father goes out into the desert with Rinty for reasons.
Yeah.
And then a sandstorm comes, and also in the middle of the sandstorm, someone guns him down because they want the claim on this gold mine, which he leaves behind a pocket watch with an engraving that has a clue to where this mine might be.
Yeah, I don't know how he would even use the watch to find where the mine is if he's blind.
I guess it was like if he's blind, who engraved the watch for him?
Yeah, exactly. And
I mean, presumably he could have done it himself, but that would have been very difficult for him.
It would. It feels like kind of a remake of Lighthouse by the Sea, because that had the blind guy and Rinty dynamic in it as well.
A magic blind man who also I guess he has this gold mine that he operates entirely by himself.
Yeah, exactly.
With his dog
I
as
can't
a blind
imagine this
man.
guy picking
Like,
gold in the dark.
Right, and like, how did he find this claim and know that he had gold?
Exactly.
Did he just go out into the desert and start chewing rocks?
This definitely tastes like 24 carat. Get some
right,
Rinty.
like he did it by taste, or Rinty is like a gold sniffer? Like,
oh, like for truffles, but with gold.
so now with Juan, that was his name, dead.
Yeah.
Only the pocket watch, which has a clue but not like the precise location, and presumably Rinty can point the way to this gold mine.
Yeah.
And now Dolores she seems to find out later about the stopwatch, even though it's presented at the beginning of the movie.
Yeah, I thought this was like
as if she didn't know about it before,
or something like that.
Right? Or you think you would, instead of just leaving behind a mystery clue on a pocket watch for your daughter, you would just say, "Hey, here's exactly how you get to the gold mine. Don't fucking tell anybody in case I die."
Yeah, this guy looked about 90 as well, so even if he wasn't gunned down,
right?
I don't
Yeah, with like a 28-year-old daughter. Like,
yeah, he gets around.
Yeah. So, through some weird sequence of events that I could only piece together by the recap man telling me, we have Dolores just kind of caught in the middle of like the local rich guy Harky?
Something like that.
Harky. He's a cantina owner, Harky, who wants to find the gold mine and his, crew.
Yeah.
Then you have Ramon, who's the cactus kid who may or may not be a wanted murderer, who's also accused of killing Dolores' father, and he may or may not have done it.
Yep, we do not know yet.
And he also wants to find the gold mine. And Dolores seems later to want to find the gold mine, but it mostly is just like the damsel in distress.
Yeah, she's just kind of there throughout this entire thing.
Yeah, and that's the plot, is just two interested parties harassing a woman and her dog to find a gold mine.
Yeah, and the watch is basically the film's MacGuffin, so it's what keeps the story going forward and what everyone's after. And
then also Rinty himself, because they think the dog will point the way, but like he wouldn't for them.
Yeah, even if he could, why would he?
Every episode revolves around either a changing of hands of either the watch or the dog.
Yeah. The amount of times Rinty gets tied up for a cliffhanger is a bit repetitive.
Rinty has been caught, multiple times. So, for instance, like chapter 1 has that. Oh, and there's a dog fight in chapter 1 because there's like a cattle killing dog, which this now becomes a plot point. Oh, well, it's supposed to be a wolf, but that was no wolf.
Oh.
So Rinty kills a cattle killing wolf, but then, of course, because he has to be, Rinty is blamed for killing cattle.
Yeah, typical.
Which that comes back around in later chapters.
That's where this exact same plot point happened before. Like, it's the law of the land. He has to die. Something.
Right? Yeah. He even like goes to trial in this one because they have the time to pad it out and bring a dog to trial.
Sent to dog court. There's nothing else going on in this town.
Well, yeah, this leads us to chapter 2. So that basically runs down what's going on in chapter 1. We just kind of meet the characters and Rinty gets in trouble.
Yeah.
Chapter 2, what I notice here is that, like, Dolores' house is full of... It's like a fun house, right? It's this ranch house. So, like... Go ahead.
It's got all the trapdoors in it, like one of those clown houses. Anyone could pop out of anywhere.
Yes. Yeah, so part of this... To keep the story going, people, I guess, have to know what's going on around Dolores. So, like, members of all the different parties, like, she has a trap door leading under her house to, like, a series of like, not shafts, but, like, tunnels. And then also the back of her chimney is a trap door. Like, and the people are just coming and going all over her, frankly, enormous ranch estate.
It's like everyone knows about them, but she doesn't know that any of them are there. And she lives there.
Exactly. I guess get another thing her dad didn't tell her. You know what? He might have been just old school, and like since he didn't have any sons, he's like, well, I can't pass it to my daughter.
And I don't understand, why is he off through the desert to get to his mine when there's a mine underneath his house?
Yes, yeah, I feel like that's going to be the secret in the end. Is that? But everybody knows it. Because, yeah, there's a mine under his house that no one seems to acknowledge that there's, like, miles of tunnels down there.
Yeah, he dug them all himself, I guess.
So now in one of the more convoluted things of the plot is that Harky decides that... So Rinty is sentenced to death for cattle killing, but Harky decides that he can't let Rinty die because Rinty will take him to the gold mine.
Yeah.
So Rinty gets, like, escapes from the police custody. What kind of shocked me in this is that, like, Rinty's being held by a man riding away on a horse, right?
Yeah. But
the cops are, like, they're shooting at this man. They're trying to kill this man for running off with a fugitive dog.
Yeah.
I feel like that is not, like, punishable by death.
There's a part where they actually shoot him in the back and you see him get, like, actually shot and it cuts, but in the next chapter he's completely fine, so I don't know if that was a mistake or I don't really know what happened.
Maybe they thought they were going to kill him and they rewrote it.
Yeah, it's really strange. Like, he was definitely shot.
Yeah. And then we also have the guys fall in a totally random water pit, just so, like, Rinty has something to do.
It's literally like the Lassie trope when the kid gets stuck in the well. It's so
Dude,
silly.
I thought it was just a trope, but, like, it totally happened here for no other reason than to give us 5 minutes of Rinty getting him out.
Yeah. Hold on a second. What?
Oh.
I'll get it later.
I'll get it later.
I don't sound that British.
He sounds super British, bro.
Apparently I got a treat or something.
You got a treat?
Apparently, I don't know what it is.
Oh, a sexy treat?
Well, it's from my mum, so I hope not.
No, I better not be.
Where were we? Something about a kid stuck in a well?
Oh, yeah, I did like that Rinty, like, pulls the horse by the reins to move it closer to the well, and then throw the rope down. That was probably my favorite thing that Rinty does in these first 6 chapters. It's so low-key.
I know what my favourite thing was. It's when Ramon gets into that bar fight and they just aggressively punch each other as soft as they can.
They're just like... Yeah, they're kind of, like, swinging their arms wide towards each other and then, like, patting each other on the shoulders.
I burst out laughing so loud. It made my day. Oh, okay. It was brilliant.
And it goes on forever. I was like, oh, they're not hitting each other at all. I was like, oh, we're committing to this one.
You can actually hear them get out of breath as well. They're all puffing and panting. Just waiting for the director to yell cut, but he never does.
So that's chapter 3.
Mm-hmm.
Now, chapter 4, there's more dogfights. Because Harky decides to get a ringer for Rinty.
Yeah.
And just captures some random dog because now he's going to show the sheriff so the sheriff can shoot this dog instead of Rinty. So he can basically clear Rinty's, well, not clear Rinty's name, but, have someone executed it in his stead. Which is kind of crazy.
It is quite weird.
These dogfights look legit too.
Yeah, like, they actually look like they're getting hurt. Like,
they look.
Oh, I was just gonna say I don't know if it's actually Rinty that's going to be fighting the dog, considering how old he is. And the other dog looked identical to Rinty, so I imagine they just got another double for Rinty.
Yeah. I think they used up because I didn't see muzzles on them unless they muzzled the one that had to lose, and then I'm thinking, like, dogs definitely got very hurt.
Oh, definitely. Ramon has to fight one of them as well, so he's probably shitting himself.
Oh, yeah.
Poor Ramon. Did you notice how everyone kept calling him Rayman later on?
No.
Yeah.
Because the audio is very bad.
They started out calling him Ramon, then around, like, this chapter to chapter 6, they keep calling him Rayman. It's really weird.
We finally learned that he might actually be a good guy in chapter 4 after he's basically hung around and been weird.
Yeah, he basically becomes the
minutes,
protagonist.
almost an hour. Right, just an immediate switch, and I was like, okay, this makes a lot more sense because I couldn't keep up with what the
there's so many different plot points going on. It's just so much.
Right, and it's just back and forth. Like, it's such a simple plot, but padded into, like, incomprehensible.
Yeah, it's like a mad world. There's so much shit's going on. Everyone's after the same thing.
Yeah.
Are we still on chapter 4 or are we on chapter 5 now?
We're still on chapter 5.
Oh, chapter 5. I thought we were on chapter 4.
We're on chapter 5. Oh, chapter 4 has my favorite cliffhanger, which has so they end up in the tunnels underneath. And this is the one where Harky's men, or Harky himself, corners Ramon, and you see the gunfire when Ramon won't tell him where Rinty is.
Yeah, that was.
I don't know where he is.
I love how he's risking his life just for this dog.
Right, that's just around the corner.
Yeah.
And pulls this magic rope that brings down like a door in the tunnel. That what purpose does that serve?
Exactly.
Other than to stop Harky's bullet and save Ramon.
It's like the blind man knew what was going to happen. Yes. Okay, thanks. Okay. Constant interruptions.
Oh, that's fine. That's fine. I need it. Because, again, this isn't meant to be binged.
It's true.
And by chapter 5, the story has completely stalled out. We are done with story by chapter 5, and it's just people running around.
There's so many sections in this chapter that are just complete silence of people walking around.
Right. Yeah, this is the one where I fell asleep and had to come back.
Yeah, this chapter's
like
no
they tie. I even forget who, because Rinty keeps changing hands, but somebody ties Rinty to a tree and tells him he'd just be in the way. But I don't understand what
Ramon's cowboy friend, who might also be the Cactus Kid, but we don't know yet.
So the Buzz, then the young kid?
No, it's the older cowboy that hangs out.
Oh yeah, they call him Limpy, right?
Yeah, Limp Dick Limpy. That guy.
Limpy, I completely forgot about Limpy. Limpy basically hangs out and throws rocks at Dolores with cryptic messages.
I don't know what his deal is. Don't trust this guy.
I have no
Ramon,
idea.
come over here.
Yeah, and the intro keeps calling him the queer character Limpy.
Yeah, Limpy and Ramon gay side plot.
Oh man, that would at least give some more nuance to this. So yeah, Limpy now is like we're almost 2 hours in, and Limpy has just showed up to throw rocks.
It's like they just ran out of ideas. Let's introduce a new character. We'll call him Limpy. He'll give people cryptic messages and stand there.
So they go off to do I don't understand what, which Rinty has to be tied up for.
Yeah.
And then
weird.
somewhere now the watch also changes hands again because two guys had it, and I don't remember who had the watch at this point because I've been following the dog.
Yeah.
And they were talking about it in a cabin, and some random farmhand shepherd man just grabbed it through the window
and just got it.
Yeah, he shows up out of nowhere to give it to Dolores and says, "Oh, I saw these guys talking about it in their house, so I reached through the window and grabbed it to bring it to you."
And they don't even know who he is, so I don't know how he knows who they are and who to give it to.
Right. Yeah, and then Limpy throws some rocks to get the message that the farmhand guy took it in or something. I was like, what is going on?
This is when we get the cliffhanger where Rinty's shot, or he's about to be shot.
Yeah, right, where he's still tied up trying to get away and people are shooting at him.
Yeah, and you think Rinty's been shot, and they're just like, oh, let's finish him off, boys. But then he just gets up and bolts off.
Yeah, which begins chapter 6, which my notes say, Rinty leads a chase away from the plot. Oh, look, he's caught again.
And this is when the boy follows Rinty back to the house, and they're all chasing him.
That's basically our next episode of this is just going to be, and they chase Rinty, and then he gets caught, and then he gets away, and then someone shoots at someone, and then Rinty gets caught, and then Rinty gets away. And then someone snags the pocket watch again.
Kid falls back in the well.
I think we could do an episode on chapters 6 through 12 or 7 through 12 without actually watching chapters 7 through 12.
We probably could. We could just skim it, and we don't even have to. Yeah, we don't even have to watch it. We'll just make it up, and it'll seem like we've watched it. We've got more than enough material.
Right. I mean, after this, we have to seriously consider if we want to do the next serial, which I guess would be Rinty's last, right? That's it for Rinty.
Well, we might as well do it for the sake of Rinty. We've done this many.
All right, yeah, which is the Lightning Warrior, and it's his last role, so I guess fine.
Yeah.
Just before he died.
We'll do it to honor Rinty.
God, but I really don't want to. I don't even want to finish this.
Too bad you have to commit.
I know. I do have one other funny thing that I kind of notice is that through all of this, right, there's people like straight up like kidnapping people and like shooting at other people and like using trapdoors to enter their houses illegally, right? And like there's a gold mine on the line. Through all of this, the sheriff doesn't give a shit about anything. He just wants to shoot a dog.
I don't know what his deal is. He's like that bad guy who just wants to kill the dog for no reason.
Right, the sheriff just rolls up with all the other police just to, like, shoot the dog, and he is hellbent on killing this damn dog. He's like
he's been like, sheriff for 10 years and nothing has happened in that entire time other than this one thing.
He always gets his man, right? Now he's just like, this can't be the one that gets away. Like, I can't break the streak.
He's hellbent.
And so he's just completely lost it. He's just gone psychotic to kill this fucking dog, even while people are shooting at other people. He doesn't even stop to like they're openly shooting at other people, and he doesn't even try to stop that. He's just like, I gotta get this dog and shoot it.
What did you think of that woman that spoke in tongues, that Spanish lady? I could not understand a word she was saying.
Yeah, the audio, that was actually what convinced me to check out other ones for audio, because I wasn't sure if she was speaking Spanish or the audio was very bad.
Yeah, I just thought she was speaking in tongues. She sounded possessed.
I think it's both. So I think she does speak Spanish, but then when she speaks English, they have her with such a thick accent and the audio is so bad you can't understand her.
Yeah, and I love that one shot of her when she's on the horse with the posse. Like, why is she even there? I think she might have been holding a gun, but I'm not too sure.
Yeah, she does it because basically they just have her come in and either speak Spanish or possibly gibberish. Maybe she speaks gibberish pretending it's Spanish. I don't know because I can't hear it right. And then someone else translates for her. So like the other person could have just said the line and this woman didn't need to be there.
She's just so pointless. I bet it turns out like she's the real villain of the entire thing.
Oh, she's the cactus kid. Or she's the one who went and shot Juan because she's how many people could know about this gold mine, right?
I've been after that gold mine for 50 years.
Oh my gosh.
That's actually a good plot twist. I hope that happens.
Me too, but I don't think it will.
Probably not.
We need at least some like more characters in this back half or something like has to pivot. Because otherwise, like, this is literally just going to be 3 hours of catching a dog and the dog gets away and catching the dog again and people trading a pocket watch.
I just don't want to see Rin get tied up anymore.
3.5 hours.
Ugh.
Oh, he's going to get tied up at least 3 more times. I'm going to say it right now. I'm putting my money on 3 more times he gets tied up.
Watching Rin get tied up is the most boring thing ever. He just, like, loosens the ropes and walks off. I've seen it, like, 20 times. So
what have we even seen the dog do? So he gets tied up a bunch. We've seen him run really fast.
He does 2 of those wall runs up over the top of the door. They were quite cool.
2 of them? Or just
yeah, he did 2. He like crawled over one window, then he did it again to get into the room with the other dog.
Right, during the fire. So there was a big fire. We even forgot about the fire.
Oh, that's brilliant. I absolutely love the fire bit. I can't believe we forgot about the fire.
Yeah, so Dolores gets trapped in a burning building at one point. Which, like, yeah, there's so much going on, but it's so irrelevant that, like, we can't even, like, keep up with all of it.
It's got to be the best cliffhanger. Like, the kid's stuck in the well outside while there's a fire and Dolores is trapped inside.
Yeah,
Rinty's inside.
that one was good.
A guy knocks Rinty out, so you think he's gonna die from either smoke or the fire.
Rinty gets KO'd.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's like the best cliffhanger in the entire thing.
Oh man!
Yeah, I have no idea what the watch is going to be about.
I assume all serials are like this.
I'm not sure. This will be like the first serial I've seen.
Although this is one of the more early sound serials, so maybe it's. I mean, they've been doing serials for a long time at this point.
Yeah, I think they did like the Flash Gordon's ones before this and stuff like that.
No, Flash Gordons were sound. So
were
they must have come later. Yeah, let's see. Where did Flash Gordon come? I remember watching those as a kid. Like,
damn, how
1936.
old are you?
So 1936, 13 chapters.
All right. Cool.
Let's see. Let's see what happens in it. First one, plot. Second one, escape. Next one, rescue. Escape. Create an explosion. Survives a tournament. Recovers his memory. That's interesting. Invents a machine. Realizes the error of her ways. Orders the Earth people be caught and killed. And then Flash and his friends escape. So there's a lot of escapes.
This just sounds like it looks what we just watched, pretty much.
But there's like underwater cities and atomic furnaces and masked opponents and people losing their memories and drugs and catacombs. Like,
wow, I need a Rinty film like this. That sounds awesome.
Right? Like a Rinty in space is what we needed, I think, to have a good variety.
That's what you do when your franchise runs out of ideas. You either do time travel or send them to space.
Because how many things could happen in a field and in a ranch house?
Exactly.
We've pretty much, people shoot at each other. There's fires. There's stuff with horses. There's a hole. I feel like we've exhausted the options.
Honestly, Rin Tin Tin meets the Twilight Zone. That's a show I'd watch weekly.
Oh my god, and he has his like weird brain powers and forces people to do his will and appease him. Like the kid
he,
one.
Traps Nanette in an endless loop of torture she can't escape.
Oh, no. Rinty. That's not right, man. You shouldn't do that to your wife.
I think he hates her though, so it's understandable.
Well, I'm exhausted now. I need a nap or something.
Yeah, I'm off to bed straight after this. I've been up since 5.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it made me go into work early. Someone's got COVID.
How I thought you worked at like a store. Why do you have to be there at 6?
For delivery, we have to bring in all the cages and put the stuff out. Yeah.
Alright.
Yeah, it's pretty annoying.
Oh, that's fun. Did you ever get your blood work done?
Oh no! I can't believe this crap's carried on to this podcast. It's like contagious.
It's gonna bleed over into all of them. Yeah. So you didn't get your blood work done?
What's the point? I don't understand why I need to.
I don't know. You can see to see if you're anemic. Man.
I'm not anemic. I don't know where Mike even got that.
But
from.
You don't know.
I don't know where he even came from.
You can also see. There could be something else like it. Like, I found out I have high cholesterol and then did nothing about it, but at least I know.
I don't care if I've got high cholesterol. I think I'm too young for high cholesterol.
Well, you might have something. You just go. It's kind of fun. Like, they just put a thing on your finger, and then like they take a bunch of vials of blood, depending on how much they think they need.
Mr. Monahan, we've found traces of AIDS in your blood. It does not sound fun.
I mean, that you should know that. It might explain why you're always tired, man.
It might. Oh, because I'm getting up at 5 for delivery.
Oh, how much sleep are you getting then? What time do you go to bed?
It depends. I get to bed at a different time every night. I usually get either 6 or 7 hours.
Oh, okay. 6, 7 is my normal.
Well, I don't know. I just think I'm always tired.
Last week I've been lazy, but I mean, last night I got like 5.5, but that's not
Maybe
normal.
you're anemic. Why don't you get your blood work done, TJ?
I did get my blood work done, and I'm not
How long
anemic.
ago was that, though? You get it done again?
Last January.
Oh, never mind, then. That is quite recent, actually.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Well, I guess I'm going to be hearing about my blood work on the main show as well.
Yeah, I wish you had a podcast with Angus too. So Angus
I tried. He just bailed
about your blood work. That's fine.
I'm waiting for Blazing to clip this now. Bjork's blood work part 2. Oh.
Yeah. Oh, you and Blazing should have a podcast. And then...
Oh, he's already got his own. I go on that one sometimes. It's quite fun.
Okay, good. I'll tell them all to ask you about your blood work.
I will not be telling anyone to ask me about my blood work.
Everyone who's wanted to listen is gone like 3 minutes ago, except for Mike and
except for the diehard blood work fans.
Yeah, I'm gonna say goodbye.
Bye.
See ya. Bye.
Why won't the recording stop?